Okay, I saw him from the window. We're gonna have to see if I can see what he's doing out there. Oh, well now he's walking away. But I've got the best dad. He's been out there watering the apple trees yesterday and a little bit today, and he's kind of going by my method of put the root irrigator in and sit down for a little bit and do something else. But right now, he's actually needing to move the hose around. Oh, looks like one of the neighbors is moving some farm equipment. Alright, well he's walking this way, so I'll let you go. Okay, you better get off my hand now. I swear. The little pollinators are just everywhere. And he's back again. Get off. What in the world? Seriously, I'm not that sweet. Thought he was gonna fly off and he just went right back on my hand. Alright, come on. I got work to do. Figured I'd mulch this spot last. Let's see what I got left. And I'll do all the trees, bushes and all that. And originally it was just going to be this little area right here, but this obviously hasn't seeded in very well. right underneath that mound there. And this is going to eventually grow up to be, it's an American cranberry bush. And I think it's supposed to be like 12 to 15 feet. Still have the tag on it from last year, so 10 to 12 feet. I gotta get that tag off of there. But obviously for a couple years it's gonna be
Alright, well let's just set it
small.
up. We can light it. Check it out.
And then, yeah. Maybe back more, it might be a little more level, I don't know. And I don't know if like turn it more toward the window. I feel like I got a large lump here. I do. From off the ground.
I would come out here, George.
You're off the ground.
Turn your end that way.
So I wish I had pictures of how it was before with the tree here and this all as a pine. From when we first moved in and there was sycamore that was rotting at the base. And this was all
Wow.
swamp. And when we had Adrian come and fill it in with the mounds that was over there. And then had to come and take down the tree. And now I just think rather than turning it all back to grass, it would be simpler to keep it as a landscape area. But I don't really know if the Lakeview Road, me kind of seeing it straight on this way from the driveway, seeing more of the Willow. And if you were about halfway up the driveway and looked over this way, it might almost be better if it were angled slightly. But if you're driving along the road looking this way, it's kind of nice that it's straight. And then if you're looking out the window, would it be better to be angled or to be straight on the side?
Get your mom.
Yep, for now I'm just going to set it up and figure out if that cranberry bush gets to be 10 to 12 feet wide. That's about it right there. And so if I put the arbor right there, can I still have enough sun for like a clematis or a rose? And would it have to be on the other side because the willow's going to shade it too? Like right now it's getting lots of sun, but that starts getting bigger. And in the morning it'll shade this, and in the afternoon, like it is now, it'll be shading more. Yeah, I feel like that side will get plenty of sun, but this side might not. I don't know. And yeah, and it'll probably have to get staked down. Probably, it will. And it needs to get cleaned off.
Brush.
A good coat of paint on it wouldn't be a bad idea. It's been sitting in the garden. But yeah, this seems like an ongoing project for the summer and fall and next spring.
And maybe the year after.
Exactly. And getting the stump out of here, I just was letting it rot. Maybe I'll just put a bird bath on top of that.
Somebody ought to get, you know, there's two things
Mark it out.
that I would like to build. One would be a water wheel,
Uh-huh.
and the other one, and I wanted to do this way back when we lived in Oregon. I've never got it done with the lighthouse.
Lighthouse. You could build a lighthouse that
Put a solar light
yeah.
in the top of it.
That's what we should do when the fence posts rot out there. You should have a lighthouse on one side and a windmill on the other.
There you go. You still got your little side pieces for your little park bench?
Yes, I do. They're in the garage. That was another thought, was staging that out here somewhere, or staging it over by the garden was my other thought. And then lately I've been thinking I should put it at the end of the little portion of the drive over there next to the fire pit.
Yeah. Maybe we need 3 of them.
Uh-huh. I don't know, we get into need versus want versus I don't have enough money for this. But yeah, I think I'll maybe mark out a space, actually get the spade out here and kind of dig it up just a little bit on the edges. And maybe rather than marking it, maybe I'll just spray it off. Yeah. Exactly. You gotta get the right. I don't ever have the right stuff. But yeah, I know. I work there. I know. But like even in the backyard, just spraying the grass to kill it. Now I have my mark. But that's if you know this is what you want. If you don't know, bring it out with freezing and it'll grow out. But there is part of me that says, if we would have just done something like this in the first place. But you don't know. You don't know until you know. And then I also say, I don't want to do anything too permanent here because I don't know for sure how big that's going to get. Is it going to overtake if I put in a couple plants around this far away? I don't think so. It's going to spread back too and maybe be, out to here. And the shade is going to go more.
It goes about 6 feet.
Somewhere right in that area. I mean, a lot like the crabapple over here. And then the shade's going to go a lot like that too. Where in the morning it's shaded back here. And in the high noon it's shaded right here. And in the afternoon,
Back there.
oh, that's okay. Going the other way. Yep, I'm going the wrong way direction. either way, this is not going to get full shade. It's going to get some shade. But it's going to get some shade from the willow, so I'll have to watch it before I plant anything. Come out at 6 in the morning and kind of watch how shaded is it from the willow tree.
Well, in the morning or again, hopefully.
Yeah,
Afternoon.
late in the afternoon. Yeah, basically that I have to watch it all day long. Well, it kind of needs to come down. That's why it's outside of the camera shot right now. It's like looks like we're due for getting a storm, maybe. It's probably rolling right around us. I don't know if you'll be able to see the yellow of the field over there. And this is where I'm going to start my new flower bed. So we're going to have a bird bath right there in the center, and there's an arbor that's laying on its side right now. Of course, the wheelbarrows won't be there, but the arbor laying on its side will actually get put up right in the center at the front, and then dig in all these plants and eventually get it mulched. Sorry, I was distracted for a moment. Let's go over and take a closer look. It is. I really think it's just darkness rolling in, but it's kind of funny. It's so light over off to the side there. And then so dark coming from that direction. But I think it's blowing right beside us. So that would be just my luck. Need to get all these plants watered in. And it's probably going to stop right at the edge. Right along the cornfield. Be good for the farmer. But anyhow, yeah, so that arbor laying down over there, we're actually going to set it up, and I've got 2 climbing roses at the front, and then I'll kind of work in a pathway to have plants in around, and then this is an American cranberry bush right here at the end. And that will actually get, I think it's 8 to 10 feet wide. So I'm not going to plant too much around it, just because eventually it'll shade out everything. I got some daisies and some lilies, some of the more common plants that just kind of, we'll see what happens if they thrive right now and then end up getting too much shade. I won't have spent too much money on those. And so I started to rototill last night to try to get the ground a little easier to work. And I started digging this hole earlier this morning for the azalea right there, and decided that it needed to get sprinkled. And the worst thing that was going to happen if I sprinkled it was that we would get rain, which is we are badly in need of, so I was fine with that. Anyhow, but I got a couple plants here toward the front that I could stand up. A I don't know if I'm saying it right. And then a lavender tree. Those are not actually where those are going to go. I'm going to kind of put them on either side of the arbor at the front. So the roses, the climbing roses right here to the left and right, the arbor's going to go right into that spot right there. And then the azalea will be behind it, and I will level up the bird bath and center it up as well. And then I was just kind of placing some other plants around to get planted in. I thought I was going to get it all planted today, but that's not going to happen. The ground's just too hard. I needed to get it watered And now we're looking at a possible storm here, so I hate to start doing too much. I might plant some of the smaller things, but I'll probably do that off video. It's Father's Day. I got a lot of other things to do, so I'll just kind of do those in between. And yeah, I might bring you back to show you some of the other planting and mulching and leveling up and all that nice stuff, but just kind of wanted to give you a before and after. And the before, well, the real before you've probably seen in other videos. Actually, I might have a clip that I can add on to the beginning of this from when we pulled the arbor over here. And actually, I wish I had a picture of the real before. The real before was a sycamore tree in here that was rotting out at the base. And so that was in 2021 when we moved in. And so last fall we actually took it down. And then I planted that American cranberry bush at the back there. And I was just going to do a really small little mulch area. But there was a mound that we had over in the backyard that when we moved into this house, this area was actually very flooded. And that's why that sycamore had rotted out, is because it was just not level over here, and so it retained a lot of water. And so when we took that mound out from behind the house over on the other side, we had somebody, actually a friend came with their skid loader and actually took that mound down and brought it over to fill in this area. So there's a lot of rock in here from that, which is fine for a flower bed, but it's not so great for growing grass. Actually, it's not fine for a flower bed either, because it's really hard to dig in, but it's not too much of a problem. So I'm going to dig those in, mulch them, and then this will be a nice little flower bed over here, rather than trying to get grass to grow and it's just not. The weeds are taking over. So you can kind of see this right here was a lot of what that whole space looked like. And I can deal with this right here. I'm just needing to get it dug up and get it replanted, and it'll grow some nice grass next year. But right now it's all rock, so that's a project that has to get done too. But this project's gonna look pretty in the end, so yeah. Anyhow, I feel like those clouds are gonna roll right on by. It's hard to tell which direction they're rolling though. I thought they were going east, but now they seem to be going north. Interesting. Alright, well, that's sort of the beginning. Maybe it's the middle. And I got a lot of pruning to do on my crabapple tree there this fall. I shaped it up just a little bit the other night because I needed to get in underneath of it to put some mulch down, and I had to get off. There was a black plastic like you use for drainage around it, and it's too big for that now, so I had to tear that off. And while I was getting in under there, I had to sit down on the ground in order to get under there and do that. And so I snipped some stuff from underneath of it, but it's gonna need a lot of pruning this fall. The wind is definitely picking up, so maybe we are due to get something, but I think it's gonna go rolling right beside us. So, yep, we were praying for rain, but I don't know. I don't think we're gonna get any of it. But it is dark as can be over there. It's been thundering for about 4 hours now. So, pretty sure it's all around us and just not here. So the garden's looking a little bit different these days. Not much, but tiny bit. Just because there is no bundle of soil sitting right here. There are a lot of weeds to get in here and do, or take care of. But there's no bundle of soil sitting here anymore. I went ahead and filled the raised bed over there, and so we stacked what was left, and stacking it just to have it available for next year when I decide which of the raised bed styles I like. And we'll do another one of whichever one I like the best. I am somewhat concerned over the fact that I think the back one is not really level, and so doing a water reservoir without it being totally level, I just am wondering about that, but we'll see how it goes this summer. Anyhow, and the flower beds over here aren't looking too terrible. Well, some of them are, but eventually it'll all fill in much nicer. And you can see I bought some tomato plants and didn't have the garden ready, and I need to go throw those tomato plants away. It was a waste, but at least I got the waste on sale. But that's really frustrating. I try not to do that. Don't buy your plants until you're ready to put them in the ground. But I thought, oh, I'll get these and I'll put them in. And then it wasn't ready, and we haven't had any rain, and I've been watering them, but the sun just killed them. So, yep. Weeds. Oh. But lots of beans. And I told Dad, I said I planted beans and corn in this row. I planted pole beans and corn in this row. And guess what's growing and guess what isn't? Oh, I don't know how I'm gonna stake them up. I guess this is an experiment that went wrong. Maybe have to put my fence in or something. Anyhow, see how that goes. I figure as long as I made it over to this side of the house, I might as well stop and get the chickens a treat. And they're already going nuts. Yeah, I don't like them sticking their heads out like that, but let's do this. I try to put it in the bucket, but they always have it all over the place anyway. So then I try to just leave the plate, but it's not really good for them to stretch their necks out like that. So once they're away from the door and going after all the other things, then I'll go ahead and open up the door toss it in there. But it's really hard to do this one-handed, so hold on a second. Watch out, everybody. They really love that watermelon. There was a little bit of spaghetti left over too. Yep, that doesn't take long. And this would be why we need rain. Literally, oh my goodness. So I'm a little afraid to do it. I don't know why. I can dig in the ground to put plants in and all that, but somehow when it comes to this, it freaks me out. But that might tell you how much of a crack there is there. And that's not even... Yeah. I think we need rain. Okay, well I think we're ready to do some mulch. I went and got some today, so we should be backing up here in a second. I figured I'd just go ahead and do it. And I'll stack a couple around the arbor. So I'm done. Alright. Yep. Sounds good. But if I end up with too much, I might actually put some more over by my blackberry patch. So therefore I don't care if it's in the wheelbarrow or the truck. But if I end up with quite a bit too much, I want to take it back. So it would be better to start with the wagon and still have some left in the truck. But with my luck, I'm only going to have 2 bags left, in which case it wasn't a big deal. Then load the wagon. In fact, maybe I'll drive it around to that side. Putting a lot of pressure on my wagon here. There we go. Kind of parked it right in the camera, huh? Uh-oh. Oh well. I'd start with the inside first and work my way out. That way if I misjudged and don't have enough, I can always just either add on to it or kind of consider that's the part that's going to get mown over. I try to do a nice crisp edge, but it's very difficult to do and keep it that way and keep it easily mown around. So mown around. I don't know what. Mowed around. This one's actually spreading. Huh, interesting. Okay, so we're not done yet. We still have to get the arbor put up. So I've got some mulch still in the truck for going around the arbor when we get it installed. So you might be able to see there's still 2 pots. You can see this one probably right here. They're both climbing roses. So I'm going to go ahead and get the arbor installed and just put the climbers on the arbor. I know, kind of cliche, but that's what I'm going to do. And then this project will be done for this summer, but I'm actually considering next year doing a project of extending the mulch a little bit further and going around the willow tree. Kind of depends on how well this red mulch holds up, and if I have to replace it next year, then I may extend the project out. If I don't have to replace it next year, I may just say it's a future project again. Fly hit me. But eventually, however long from now, I do kind of picture wanting to do something around the willow tree over there. And of course it would be more shade plants. And this does not look like much right now. Obviously I need to work on the edging. It's not very full. It'll get full, and I have some bulbs that I need to get planted in here. Probably should have done it before I put the mulch down, but I needed to go ahead and get the mulch out of the truck, so it's really not that big a deal to shoot the mulch aside and put bulbs in. So, and of course those won't do anything this year. They'll grow next year then, possibly, hopefully. I don't know, we're in the middle of a drought too, so I probably a good idea not to plant bulbs actually. But yeah, I kind of did some paths in there, but also I anticipate that it'll spread out. More full. And like I said, I'm going to try to find a trellis for my clematis over there. And I just did some tiger lilies and daisies in the back here. They're pretty common and they'll spread out. And honestly, these daisies they look like they're going to die. So, but right now, I'm going to go ahead and give it all some water, so maybe that'll help revive them. But I had one daisy pot, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to split it up and put one on either side of the cranberry bush there. And I didn't want to plant anything too close to the cranberry bush because A, it's going to grow up and get much bigger. Shows maturity being 8 to 10 feet. It might not ever get that big for me just because of water being an issue right now. But if it does eventually get that large, it's going to have shade-loving plants under it. And daisies like sun, but they're not extremely particular. And it's kind of, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Right now, I just need to get something in there that is going to look nice for the next couple of years while it's growing, while that cranberry bush is growing. So, alright, I'm going to go get some water on these. And of course my picture here would look better if I took care of all my stuff, but we still got to finish the project, so the wheelbarrows are still sitting over here. Wondering if I should put it in a little bit further. These are not my favorite kind of sprinklers because I can never figure out how to set it. But I'm kind of thinking if this side gets too much water, it's okay, it'll green up the grass. I could just go running through that right now. I thought I'd give you an image from this side. Boy, I could just sit my chair under this willow. It'll look prettier when the arbor's there, but I could just sit my chair under this willow and sit out here and love the water. I probably one day will have like a fountain in there or something like that. The bird bath is enough for right now. And we'll draw some birds over this way too. I already saw some butterflies earlier. I think I saw some moths too, actually. And then, yeah, I could just sit here and enjoy a magazine, read a book. Dad would love it too. He's a big book lover, and just sit out here in the shade and enjoy this little area here. When it gets a little bit better edged and a little bit more grown in, and the birds start realizing there's a bird bath over here. And actually that's designed, you're supposed to be able to put seed in the top of it. I don't know that I will, because obviously like when I water it's gonna get wet. But it's also a solar light, and I haven't really had it set up yet, so I haven't really paid attention to whether or not the solar light's actually working or not. So I need to do that tonight. But anyhow, just a little image from this side. I can actually back up here and you can see the willow tree. You can see all my junk still in the wheelbarrows, but that's about where I would sit at and enjoy the little garden here. Alright, well, I'm not sure if this is the end of the video or not. If it's not, thanks for watching anyway. If it is, thanks for watching. I think we'll probably put the arbor part on the end of this here in a minute, so